Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of My Dog Ate My Podcast. I'm your host, Emily, and every week I chat with a different dog owner about their dog. We took a couple weeks off, mostly just because life and travel and all that stuff, but we are back, and we are chatting with Melba, who is the proud dog mom of Heisenberg, the 12-year-old Shih Tzu. Enjoy! Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of My Dog Ate My Podcast. I'm your host, Emily, and every week I chat with a different dog owner about their dog. We took a couple of weeks off just because of travel, life, all that stuff, and now we are back talking with my good friend Melba, who is the proud mom of Heisenberg, the 12-year-old Shih Tzu. Enjoy! Do you have Heisenberg with you?
He is sleeping right next to me, but I can grab him, yeah.
I was going to say, does he put up with you grabbing him?
Yeah, he will. He'll be fine. Do you want me to grab him now?
Yeah.
Okay. He's such a cutie. You caught him on a good day because he was groomed like a week and a half ago, so he's nice and tidy. You can actually see his face.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I don't always see his eyes that much.
Oh my God. It's like he's attentive, like looking at what's on his head.
Hi, Heisenberg.
He's like staring like straight at him.
I know. His eyes are so wide. He's like, I woke up for this. Like, this is crazy.
Who is this?
Well, we can jump into it and you could put him down if he needs to go back to sleep. But so Heisenberg is 12, but tell me a little bit about the beginning, like when you first got him, how you got him, that sort of thing.
So I was living me, my husband and I, were living in San Antonio at the time. And my mom's friend's puppy or dog had puppies. And she thought she had gotten her fixed. So it was like a surprise for her. She had no idea how it happened. Something happened, obviously, in the process, and she wasn't fixed, obviously. And so she was trying to rehome the puppies as quickly as possible because they didn't have enough space, and she wanted to make sure that they were cared for. So I think at the time when we got him, he was about 8 weeks old.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the exact time. They didn't tell me exactly when he was born. But my husband did not want a dog at the time because we were living in an apartment and he was like, it's not ideal. Like, we should wait. We were also working full time and going to college full time. So our schedule was very tight. So he was wanting to wait until we had more time to actually spend with the puppy. But I was like, no, like, these puppies need a home. Like, let's go see them. And so we went to my mom's friend's house. I think she had like 3 puppies left that needed a new home. And I actually did not want Heisenberg. I wanted his sister. She was like this cute little, like, she was so chubby. She was so chubby, and you could just see like so much hair. And I was like, oh my God, I want the chubby one. And Heisenberg was like so little. He was like so thin and so little. But he was actually the only one that was not like super like hyperactive. Like, he was just like, I think he was scared. And he just like called to us, and we were like, okay, we're going to adopt him. So we got him, and it was really challenging at first. He wants to get down. It was challenging at first only because we had such busy schedules, but obviously he was like the best thing to happen to us. So I always tell him on that, thanks to me, the best thing ever happened to him. So.
Oh, and how did you decide his name?
Oh gosh, when we got him, we were watching Breaking Bad. I don't know if we were still watching it or if we had just finished watching it, but we were obsessed with Breaking Bad. Like, we used to watch it as soon as it was released every single week. And so the idea was, at the time, I wanted to get a lot of dogs. I wanted to have like 3 or 4. And so I was thinking, I'm going to get one and name him Heisenberg. And then I'm going to get another one and call him Gus. And then another one will be Pinkman. The idea was to have like the whole Breaking Bad crew. Obviously, like, we didn't end up getting more dogs because Heisenberg is very particular. So yeah, but we named him Heisenberg. And we also thought it was funny because he's such a small dog with like such a big name. But yeah, that's how we picked the name.
Oh, have you met any other dogs named Heisenberg, or have you like come across any other dog? I haven't.
No, absolutely not. I think people name their dogs normal names.
Oh, I love it though. And what kind of nicknames does Heisenberg spawn?
Oh gosh, we typically call him Little Baby. So we'll call him Heisenberg, of course, and he'll respond to that. But most of the times it's Little Baby. Sometimes if we're speaking in Spanish, we'll call him Heisenburgo. which is not actually like a Spanish translation. It's just a silly spin on the actual name. But those are the three that we toggle between.
That's cute. I'm surprised. So none of his nicknames are like shorter versions than Heisenberg.
I just don't know
Yeah.
how you would shorten Heisenberg.
Yeah, you can't really be like Heisey or like a Bergie, or I guess you could do like Bergie or something. But that's like so completely different.
Heisey is actually not bad. It never occurred to us. And because he's always been so little, we've always just called him little baby. And that's his usual.
And how much does he weigh? He's like pretty small, right?
I think he's 13 pounds.
Yeah. Okay. So he's pretty small. So you mentioned a little bit about him being particular, and I know that I've witnessed it, but could you share a little bit about his particular personality?
I think most dogs, like most of my friends' dogs, they're the dogs that like love people to approach them and they want to just play with you immediately. Heisenberg is actually turned off by that. Like if you approach him and he doesn't know you, he's like, what the hell are you doing? Like he's a very skeptical puppy. And so I say puppy and we know he's not a puppy, but he's just very skeptical in his personality. And he's always like cautious, like, who are these people? Why are they here? If we have friends over, it's like, why are you in my space? Interestingly enough, though, if we have people that come over and they don't immediately approach him, he will go to them on his own eventually. Like it may take him like 15, 20 minutes, but eventually you'll find him like sitting right next to them. And then he wants attention. But if you just approach him immediately, I think he like immediately puts his guard up and he's like, what the hell is happening?
Mm-hmm.
Like, get away from me. And I say that because it's happened multiple times, but I always remember one particular time I had a friend that flew in from Austin, and she's very weird. She does not like dogs. She's a little bit of a germaphobe, and so that's why she doesn't like pets that much. And so she was like kind of like steering clear of him, and he was following her around everywhere. Like she would go to the restroom, and he would like follow her to the restroom. And I was like, what the hell? Like, this has never happened before. But yeah, that's when I really noticed, like, he just doesn't like to be approached. He wants to approach people himself.
And has he been like that like his entire life, or did it change at all like as he's gotten older?
It's hard to remember the early days, but I do have a feeling that it got worse after the pandemic, because during the pandemic, obviously, both my husband and I were working from home, and we weren't having guests over for obvious reasons. And so he just got so used to it being us 24/7. And so after the pandemic, that's when we noticed he started to be a little bit more skeptical in like dog parks. He was like, what's going on? Obviously, it's gotten better over the years now that it's been a while since the pandemic, but especially those early months right after, it was a little jarring for him. Yeah, I think it was primarily due to that, but I also saw a shift in like his anxiety, because he didn't have anxiety pre-pandemic. And then after the pandemic, like sometimes he'll experience a little anxiety, and it's like, it's very obvious that that's the reason. It's just because there was a shift. He got used to a different routine, and then that routine was just like taken from him again.
I mean, honestly, I feel like you could say the same about a lot of humans too. Like there's so many people who like got into a routine during COVID, and then when it's like, oh, we all have to go back into the office and like all this other stuff, and suddenly like you break out of everything that you kind of settled into for like a year and a half, 2 years, and it's like very, very different.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree. And I think dogs, obviously, like they're so smart, right? They react the same way that we do. But yeah, I'm still struggling with the return to office right now.
So I know that you've moved then a couple times with Heisenberg. How has he adjusted every time? Like, especially being a creature of habit, how has he adjusted with moving, originally from Texas to, was that directly to here, and then Bay Area, and then back to Seattle?
Yeah, so he's had quite the moves. And even within all of those like cities that we've lived at, like we've had multiple apartments before we bought our home. So it was like every year he was shifting.
Mm-hmm.
He is actually really good with the moves. I find that every time we would land in a new place, he was like very quickly like running through the place, trying to explore, see what his new space is. Usually when we would move in or we would take him to the place for the first time and it was empty, that's when he was kind of like, like I'm exploring this. I'm trying to get a feel, like, what is this? But then immediately once our furniture arrived and all of our stuff arrived, then he knew it was his home.
Got it.
Yeah, and the other thing that I've always found interesting is that I know some dogs are afraid of like elevators, but he was always like he loved the elevator, and it's like he knew how it worked. He was like
Hmm.
get on it, and he knew he would come off on his floor. It's just like the craziest thing.
Yeah, I guess it is something I've never really thought about. Like dogs have no idea. It's like you get in this box and you can kind of feel it move, but you don't really have a sense. Like you don't have the spatial awareness of what just happened. Like
Yeah,
you are still where you are, just higher or lower. And it's just, yeah, I never really thought about
yeah.
that.
For some reason, we thought about that a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so he's adapted well to moves. Has he flown with you when you've moved each time, or has he driven with you?
We've done both with him.
Hmm.
When we moved from California back to Seattle, we did do the drive because we didn't want to have our car like transported by someone else. So we moved in our vehicle. He did really good with that. When the times that we've flown, he's actually a really good flyer. The only thing that we have found is that we have to keep his head, like we usually have to put a blanket above his carrier
Mm,
because if he can see us, like obviously he's under the seat in front of us, but if he can see us, he'll like get a little impatient and he'll want to come out.
hmm.
But if he can't see us, he's like very chill. Usually he just sleeps the entire flight.
Oh, interesting. He wants to be in your lap if he can see you, but
Yeah.
then if he's just like, okay, I'm just in this dark little cave, then that's fine. What are some of Heisenberg's like unique quirks?
He'll know. So one thing that I remember a lot, and he's done this quite a bit, is that he'll know when he's in trouble and when he's done something. And then he'll usually, so like, I'll give you a very concrete example. We don't let him go up and down the stairs in our new home by himself. Like we usually always carry him because we have hardwood floors and they're very slippery. And I know it's probably not slippery for him, but we're just like scared of him doing it
Hmm.
by himself. So we don't let him. And one time, my husband and I were having dinner and he went down one step and I just like said his name and it was so funny. He like jumped back, he jumped back up and he just looked at me like I didn't do anything. And he was like looking around like that wasn't me. And he'll do that all the time whenever I call his name because like obviously I won't call him little baby in those instances. I'll say Heisenberg. And then he like freezes in his spot. And then he's like obviously just staring at me like it wasn't me. So that's one quirk that he has. The other one, what else does he do? If Herman and I are sitting, my husband and I are sitting next to each other in the couch, like literally side by side, he'll like jump to the couch immediately and he'll get in the middle of us. He does not want us to like be affectionate with one another, like to an extreme, like in front of him. Like he'll want to be the center of attention.
Oh,
So he'll usually do that. He'll do that a lot. Like Herman and I cannot be next to each other on the couch. He'll want to be right in the middle so we can both be obviously like petting him or scratching him and not like paying any attention to each other.
who does he like better between the two of you?
Oh gosh, my husband for sure. My husband. And it's crazy because I think he likes him better because he's the one that takes him out on walks. I have wanted to take him out on walks. Like I would love to take him out, but my husband just like loves doing it and he's it's like his way to like decompress.
Hmm.
And so I've let him have it. But he takes them out 3 times a day. And so because he spends so much time with them when they're doing their walks, I think Heisenberg just has like this idea that, hey, my dad is here to fulfill my physical needs and my mom is only here to support my emotional needs, which is obviously not the case, right? Like if my husband's traveling or whatever, I will obviously fulfill both of his needs. But he'll usually go to my husband whenever he wants more water, more food, a treat, whatever. He'll go to my husband and he's like, do this for me. And he'll come to me when he wants me to scratch his belly or things like that.
See, I could see that as almost like the opposite, where he's like, okay, you're fulfilling a much deeper relationship. And then Herman is just like, okay, here are my very base, like it's like the Maslow hierarchy of needs, right?
Yeah.
Like, here's my very basic like survival. You're gonna help keep me alive, but like mom is what I need to have a more fulfilled
Aw,
life.
I like that thought. I'm
Yes.
going to reframe it in my mind because that
Yeah.
might be the case, right? But I just maybe the way I think about it this way because they do get to spend more time together.
Yeah.
But then again, my husband loves to go to the office and I try to work from home as much as possible. So we do get a good amount of time together as well.
Can't believe he loves to go to the office. So
So
weird. Something's wrong with him.
for sure.
Okay, so coming up on some of my like ending questions, what do you imagine Heisenberg's internal voice sounds like?
Kind of like a jerk, honestly. And it's so funny because maybe that's just us and like our internal thoughts. But usually when we make a voice for him, it's always like, why are you doing that? And then like, it's just like, yeah, I don't want to say reprimanding, but it's just a very judgmental voice is what I picture in my head for him. But that I think also comes down to the fact that he is very selective with who he gets close with. And so I do imagine him being judgmental to an extent.
Yeah. And then what do you imagine like a good theme song would be for him?
Probably the All I Do Is Win.
Oh, yes. That's a good one. And I feel like it's good because it kind of represents how he seems he has a bigger personality than his size or like a bigger attitude than his size.
Oh gosh, for sure.
Yeah, because he's such like a cute little like Oreo cookie.
I can see
Yeah,
that.
I love him so much. Okay, so his Instagram account is the Hot Pupper. Is that
Correct.
right? And then his rescue shout out is Resilient Hearts Animal Sanctuary in Seattle. What made you choose that rescue?
I've actually done some volunteer work there before, and we're very fortunate at our with our employer that we get to donate X amount of money like per year, and it's usually one of my go-to organizations, just because I love the work that they do.
Nice. And are they like downtown Seattle? Where are they? Oh, Fremont?
Yes,
Oh, nice. I didn't
yeah, they're
even
very
know.
close to my office.
I must have driven past there multiple times.
Yeah,
Okay, I
it's
know
pretty
exactly
great.
where they are. They're near Evo, and yeah. Cool. Well, I will let you go. Thank you so much, and especially on a Friday and all
Of
that stuff.
course, I'm glad we could finally do it.
I know, finally. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget that you can find My Dog Ate My Podcast anywhere that you get your podcasts. Don't forget to share with your friends and tell them to subscribe. And if you know of anybody who would like to have their dog featured on the podcast, have them reach out because my DMs are open. And if you'd like to follow Heisenberg on Instagram, his handle is at the Hot Pupper. If you're in the Seattle area and looking to adopt your next pet, check out Heisenberg's shelter shout out of the episode, which is Resilient Hearts Animal Sanctuary in Seattle, Washington. Thanks, and we'll see you next week.